Good morning. Dr. Joseph Siro, Managing Director and CEO of Kenya Power, Mrs. Joy Brenda Masinde, Chairman of the Board of Directors for Kenya Power, Mr. Daniel Günther, Head of Cooperation at the German Embassy, Mrs. Alia Silent from GIZ, Excellencies, distinguished partners and participants, ladies and gentlemen, good morning again. On behalf of my ambassador, Mrs. Henriette Geiger, and for the European Union, it's really an honor and a pleasure for me to be here and to address this conference. I would like to start by a bit of background of why we are here as EU, so on our cooperation and policies. As you may know, Europe is on a very ambitious goal to become a climate neutral continent by 2050. And we have developed quite a number of policies and legislation to achieve that target. So many of them, of course, address mobility and transport, and it matters to us all. Clearly, one of the serious challenges for the transport sector is to reduce its emissions and to become sustainable. So boosting electric mobility sourced by renewable energy is clearly a way forward. So our policies have been shaped mainly by the European Green Deal, which you may have heard about, and the European Sustainable and Smart Mobility Strategy. We also set out the Global Gateway. This may ring a bell. This is our strategy to support smart investment in quality infrastructure across the world with the highest social and environmental standards in line with our values and principles. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, Kenya and European Union have a long-standing and comprehensive partnership which covers really multiple sectors. And you may have also heard about last December the signature of the Economic Partnership Agreement, which will clearly open new doors. So Kenya is really a key partner for the EU in fostering the green and fair transition globally. And I think it's clear for everyone that Kenya is a regional and continental leader on climate change adaptation and mitigation, as was showcased with the organization of the African Climate Summit in Nairobi last September, exactly here in this place. So you may remember that on that occasion, Kenya President William Ruto and the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen launched at that time the Green Hydrogen Strategy and Roadmap for Kenya. So also, Kenya is a real frontrunner not only in Africa, but in the world in terms of renewable energy, with over 90% of its electricity produced from renewable sources. And it has a rapidly growing e-mobility ecosystem. So clearly we want to build on that for mutual benefits and clearly in terms of growth and job creation. So with that background and as a key deliverable of the Global Gateway Africa-Europe investment package, we have signed last year a declaration of intention to finance the electric bus line, so the Bus Rapid Transit Core Line 3. And we have committed already quite a lot of funding. We have committed over 350 million euros, so that's more than 50 billion Kenyan shillings, including 45 million euros in grants to create a 12-kilometer clean electric bus line by 2028. And I want to recognize here the presence of the DG of Namata, Mr. Francis Gitao, with whom, and to thank him and his team for the very good collaboration that we have on this. So this is at this stage, our major contribution to electric mobility in Kenya, and we do this through Team Europe support, which brings together the EU, but the German cooperation, France, Sweden, and the EIB, our investment bank. And beyond that, beyond the BRT and the development and enforcement of electric mobility framework, which we do with our German partners, our support also aims at tapping the huge potential for local value creation and employment. And there are quite a number of other things that we are doing. I will not go into the details, but as in the scope of the Global Gateway, we are also strongly promoting trade and investment. Over the past 10 years, the EU private sector invested more than 1 billion euros, so 155 billion shillings in Kenya. And the conclusion of the Economic Partnership Agreement will also further amplify that. So we have also a very intense collaboration on energy. I think you may know about it. We have quite a number of instruments to leverage private sector investment and rise up value chains of investment. And all this we are doing it as a Team Europe, so we bring we are pooling our resources and expertise with our member states, our 27 member states and our financial institutions, so that our joint actions become more than the sum of its parts. And you can see that together in action, today with our German colleagues and friends. And so yeah, I think Team Europe is really a key partner in Kenya's green transition. So I will conclude here, and I hope this could give you a taste of what we are already doing together and the potential we have to do even more. You can see that electric mobility is an integral part of the broad and intense Kenya-EU cooperation, and we will closely follow up on the outcomes of this forum. So I want to congratulate Kenya Power, and with the support of our German colleagues, for the organization of this second e-mobility conference, and I thank you very much for your attention. Asante sana.